Hello and welcome to Kettle Messages Tarot. I'm your reader, the Gemstar, and this is the weekly tea. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. For your own personal private readings with the Gemstar, visit our website at kettlemessagestarot.my.canva.site in the description box below. Now, let's have a sip of the weekly tea together. Welcome back, my little bulls, to Kettle Messages Tarot. I'm your oracle and reader, the Gemstar, here to spill your weekly tea. We want to thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing, showing your support for our work on this channel. We appreciate you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What messages we have for the little bulls this week ahead? What is going on? Let's spill the tea for this week. For Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Taurus, what are the energies? What are the messages coming through? For Taurus this week ahead, Taurus, you have so far the privileged lady, despair, and a female in your life that at this time may be going through something very difficult, and they may be in communication with you this week. You also have the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, that wish granted, and Two of Cups, that friendship, relationship, partnership coming through your weekly tea. Let's dig into it. Let's take a big sip. So, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, we can see in this spread that a woman who usually appears composed or privileged is facing a moment of deep emotional strain. So, someone can be feeling pressure to maintain a certain image while struggling internally this week, or there may be two women involved this week with you, Taurus. You may be one of these women involved in this situation where one is feeling distressed and the other is feeling confident and self assured. But there's an energy of emotional heaviness and a need to reconnect to what's real and meaningful to you. So, with this combination of the privileged lady, despair, the female, the Four of Coins, Nine of Cups, and Two of Pentacles this week, Taurus, a woman, it may be you, it may be someone close to you, is under pressure, feeling despair, or feeling overwhelmed this week. There may be closed off or afraid of losing control in a relationship or situation, or they may be holding on to something tightly. This may be your energy. There is going to be a turning point throughout the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, that a wish is to be granted. There's some relief that's going to arrive, some emotional satisfaction is going to become possible. But at the beginning of the week, somebody is feeling the pressure, somebody is feeling despair, somebody's feeling overwhelmed, maybe financially or emotionally. And as the week continues, towards the middle of the week, towards the ending of the week, going into your weekends, there's going to be a wish granted, Taurus, and some relief that is going to arrive. You're going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief by the middle of the week. And by the end of the week, towards the weekend, there's some emotional satisfaction that is possible. There's a possibility also, Taurus, this week of relationships improving, bonds deepening, or a heartfelt connection forming. So, a difficult emotional period this week rooted in fear, pressure, or insecurity for some Tauruses out there is going to give way to emotional fulfillment and a meaningful partnership. What feels heavy now, my little bulls, is going to transform into something deeply rewarding. So even though some may be feeling overwhelmed, insecure, maybe even feeling guarded, afraid to open up, once this wish is granted and fulfilled, you are able to open up and feel some type of security, some type of release as a wish is coming true for Taurus, and an emotional fulfillment is happening as well this week, Taurus, as relationships are becoming mutual, are becoming balanced, and are going to be emotionally satisfying eventually. You're confronting this gap between the ideal self and the real self. You're going to release some fears and you're going to allow yourselves to open up emotionally again so that you can find peace and connection with someone important in your life. Let's see, what will you be leaving behind this week? What will you be surrendering, my little bulls? So I'm liking this energy because it begins very scary, very dark, like not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then things turn around by the middle of the week, which gives you a sigh of relief. You can release some pressure, some worry, some fear, some tension this week as relationships evolve. Surrender to miracles. We're going to take that first one that flipped over, and it's surrendering to miracles this week, Taurus. Be open to the miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Confirmation, what's real and what's an illusion, what's a fantasy. So releasing what's not working for you, what's not authentic to you, what is not real to you, and embracing those true connections this week. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Yes, we feel the doubt and the fear at the beginning of the week, but a miracle definitely occurs during the middle of the week with that Nine of Cups, Taurus, that allows you to believe in miracles again as new love comes in, as a new friendship is made, as a relationship grows, matures, get deeper, heals. There may even be some reconciliation and forgiveness this week, Taurus. That has been your weekly tea. May you have a blessed week ahead. Ciao. Welcome back, my practical perfectionist of the zodiac, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. To Kettle Messages Tarot, I'm your oracle and reader, the Gemstar, here to spill the weekly tea with my Virgos. Thank you so much, Virgos, for your support of the channel, for our work on this channel, subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. We appreciate all our Virgos out there. Let's see what is going on this week. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Virgos, what energies are you working with this week? The energy of changing bad habits, focusing on your health and improving your health at this time, as your health may be a point of concern. Let's continue spilling the weekly tea and let's see what extra messages we have for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Virgos this week. Two of Wands, Five of Cups, Knight of Swords. Okay. Let's get into your weekly tea. So changes, bad health, a message of concern, Two of Wands, Five of Cups, and Knight of Swords. Virgos, the messages coming through for your weekly tea is that many of you may be going through a transition or a shift of circumstances at this time. There's some movement away from a current situation. It could be a job change. It could be physically moving away from something or someone, or detaching emotionally. For some Virgos, there's some stress and burnt out and some emotional heaviness that they have to work through this week. A situation can be energetically draining, and you may be feeling stuck or stagnant at this time. There's some news that may trigger some worry or concern for you this week, Virgos. A conversation that may bring up some fears or some doubts. There's an emotional jolt occurring this week that may take you off balance. So be patient with yourselves, because there's something, Virgos, in your life that needs your attention. It may be a situation of ill health, or it may be a situation where there needs to be a change and some movement forward, a release, an ending to occur so that you can move forward, or you're moving away from something difficult that is taxing on your health this week. But definitely, Virgos, there is a change happening or is about to happen this week, and it may be accompanied by stress, worry, or some type of emotional strain. You may receive news or communication that feels unsettling, Virgos, or that forces you to confront something you've been avoiding. This is the energy of a wake up call happening for you this week, Virgos. My sun, moon, rising, and Venus Virgos out there tuning into their weekly tea. There's some shifts that are occurring. Something may feel uncomfortable at this time, and it may demand a response from you instead of running away from what's hurting you, from what's disappointing you, from what is giving you this fear, this doubt, this worry and concern. Instead of running away from issues, problem, places, and things, you may need to confront them. For some Virgos, or this is how you deal with certain situations this week. There's a need to consider your options this week. You may be standing at a crossroads for some Virgos, preparing to take action, planning at this time, maybe because you have been through some type of disappointment, some regret, some emotional heaviness that you want to free yourself from. This is a week to take action, to communicate directly, Virgos. Don't expect people to be mind readers or know what you need or know what you want at this time. There's a need to speak up, not run away. Is an energy of confronting certain situations in your life, whether that's bad health, whether that's miscommunication, whether that's changes that need to be made. There's situations that need to be confronted. You're standing between loss and action this week, Virgos. There's a sadness or a regret with this energy of the Five of Cups, but also a need to choose a direction with these Two of Wands that are here. And then to move decisively. So, first, you need to get clear on what direction you want to go in, then make a decisive choice and action forward. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay in sorrow. Don't stay in bad health. Don't stay in misery, doubt, or fear. This week, Virgos, you need to change your approach. Release stress, worry, or emotional discomfort this week. A message or a conversation can happen, or a piece of news can trigger the stress, worry, and emotional discomfort this week. And it will leave you standing at a crossroads, needing to choose your next step. You are being asked this week to act quickly, speak clearly, and make a decisive move. Let's see what you are releasing, what you are surrendering this week, Virgos. So there's stress, worry, anxiety, some emotional upheaval that you need to make decisions on and to move away from. So, this is a week, Virgos, to surrender unhealthy connections, relationships, partnerships, situations that make you feel this Five of Cup energies with regret, resentment, despair, leaving you at this crossroads this week where you're going to have to make some choices. And one of the choices may be in your relationships this week, Virgos. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Yes, being surrounded by toxic people, by unavailable people with this Five of Cups can lead to bad health, worry, concern, mental health decline, emotional health decline, energetic decline. So there's a need to break free from toxic people and places. This week, Virgos, you're at a crossroads. It's time to make a decision, communicate clearly, and move forward without regrets. That has been your weekly tea. Until we sip tea together again, may you have a blessed one. Ciao. Welcome back, my little goats, to Kettle Messages Tarot. I'm your oracle and reader, the Gemstar, here to spill the weekly tea for Capricorns. Welcome back, my little goats. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing, showing your support for our work on this channel. Let's see what are the weekly messages we have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is going on? For Cappies at this time, you may be dealing with authority, with legal action this week, maybe needing to go to court or to deal with legal documentation or people of authority, bosses, managers, owners, CEOs, CFOs, boss energy, authority, those in the legal field. Six of Swords, King of Swords, and Six of Wands. You are definitely to think logical, rational, and practical this week. These energies are strong. They are of authority, of going by the letter of the law this week. Let's dive deep into this one, Capricorns. Let's see if you're going to hoof anybody off the mountain. So, Capricorn, your weekly tea starts off with the courthouse, the main male, the official person, and then moves into the energy of the Six of Swords, King of Swords, and Six of Wands. You may be dealing with air signs this week, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You may also be dealing with fire signs this week, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Not necessarily, but you can be dealing with these energies or these people this week, since you have so many people in your reading this week. The King of Swords, the male, the official person. You may be dealing with judges, lawyers, bankers, military men, police officers. But besides that, Capricorns, you will be dealing with authority, decisions that need to be made, and having a successful resolution after a difficult transition. If you're going through a court case, you will have a successful resolution, but not after having to endure all this drama that's going on, Capricorns. There may be decisions that need to be made, legal matters to handle this week, formal agreements, a lot of bureaucracy, you know, bureaucracy, paperwork going on this week. You're dealing with some wise, experienced men this week ahead, influential men, men that can give you advice or give you assistance, or that's what they're doing this week. They can be mentors, father figures, but someone older in your life helping you out with a certain situation, a tricky situation this week. This is an energy of rules, of being disciplined, of being structured, going by the letter of the law and following the rules. There may be someone in uniform or someone in a position of power that you're going to have to be dealing with this week ahead. A situation involving authority, involving rules, or some formal decision is at the center of the situation that is unfolding for some Capricorns this week. There's someone who is wise and experienced and influential, but they are also strict. And this is someone that you may be dealing with, knowing that when dealing with this person, you're going to have to follow the rules, or you're going to have to follow the letter of the law. You're going to have to approach this person with respect and look up to them because they hold some type of authority. But this week, Capricorns, we can see a formal decision or an official process occurring, possibly involving two men or some male authority figures that is going to lead to some successful resolution, which is going to allow Capricorns to move away from stress or conflict and to be able to come out on top of a tricky situation, or a situation where you felt, you were never going to see the end of it, Capricorns. But a difficult situation is going to be left behind, and there's some strong, rational authority figure that is going to be making a fair decision this week, and it may be you the one in position of authority and making a fair and rational decision so that the outcome can be successful. But whoever this is, this authority figure, this strong, rational person coming through your weekly tea, they're going to help you have a successful outcome to a situation, or you're going to be able to be publicly recognized if this is you moving into a position of authority. First, having to go through all this red tape, all the bureaucracy that's going on this week, some legal decision or some decision that people of authority have been working, behind the veil over here, working on a decision that is going to turn out in your favor. This can also give the energy of the managers, the bosses, speaking of your work, taking all your hard work into account and thinking of promoting you or giving you a bonus or giving you a new position this week. But there's some formal decision that is in the process of being made and ending up successfully. So this is a week of structure, of a logical approach that's going to be able to resolve issues, Capricorns. You may be dealing with authoritative people or someone older than you this week assisting you, but you will be able to move into a calmer, more successful energy and situation by the end of the week. Let's see what you are releasing this week ahead, what you may be surrendering, leaving behind, what is being suggested for you to surrender this week ahead. Surrender your outdated beliefs of yourself. If you think you're not ready for this position of authority, then prepare yourselves, Capricorns, because it looks like there's some victory for you this week. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then You can own your power and soar into your life. This week, you are really definitely owning your power, your decision making power, your position of authority, of influence to make logical and rational decisions, following the letter of the law, and having successful outcomes. That has been your weekly tea until we sip tea together again. May you have a blessed one. Ciao, little goats. It's your Rita the Gem Star. Thank you so much for stopping by, sipping some weekly tea with us. Support your content creators. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And to receive your own personal private reading, book it at our website, kettlemessagestarot.my.canva.site, in the description box below. May you have a blessed week ahead. Ciao!